From South Carolina Public Radio, this is Who, What, When, an hour of history, games, and trivia. I'm Daniel Thompson.
And I'm Brandon Gray, and this week we're spotlighting man's best friend with quizzes about notable dogs throughout history and pop culture.
That's right, Brand. Coming up this hour, we'll see if you can match presidential dogs with their owners-in-chief, look back on famous canines from TV and movies, and hear 3 stories about brave dogs throughout history that may be too hard to believe. Can you guess which one we made up?
Gonna be honest, can't believe we're doing a dog episode.
Yeah, we are.
If you'd like to be a contestant on Who or When, all you gotta do is call or text us, 803-470-6347. One more time, are you ready? 803-470-6347. Or, if you'd rather, you can send us an email, whowhatwhen@scpublicradio.org. That'll slide right into our inboxes, and you'll get a shot at the title of the Who What When Champion of the Week and our very special trophy. You know it, you love it, you want it. It's a Who What When fanny pack.
Man, we all want the fanny pack.
I know.
Brand. You know it. And I have to tell you, these fanny packs are great for walks with your dog.
It's true.
My wife uses ours to hold treats in the bag so she can do some recall with the dogs.
100, and I use it for the bags.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about.
The bags. You get it.
I'm talking about the bags.
That's right. Now, before we get to our games, Brand, I wanted to take a little time to talk to you about just one heroic dog from history. I'm going to limit it to just one. It's one by the name of Togo.
Okay, let's do it. I can't wait to hear all about Togo.
Thank God. Togo was born in 1913 as part of a litter owned by dog breeder and musher named Leonard Seppala.
Oh.
Seppala had immigrated from his native Norway to Alaska in the early 1900s in search of gold. And when that didn't work out, he began making deliveries by dog sled as well as training dogs for others. Here's a fun fact for you. Seppala is credited by many historians for introducing the Siberian Husky breed to the American public.
Wow, and I think it's safe to assume that Togo's one of them Huskies?
He certainly was, Brand, and as a puppy, Togo was seen as a bit of a troublemaker, so much so that Seppala and his wife ended up giving him away as a pet.
Oh, no.
Because they thought he wouldn't work with a team of other sled dogs. After only a few weeks of the domestic life, he jumped through a glass window and ran all the way back to Seppala's kennel.
Okay, what did Seppala think of that?
I can only imagine that he was impressed, actually. He said it was Togo's devotion to him as a trainer, but he still didn't think the dog had it in him to be a sled dog. I know. That did change a few months later when Seppala was hired by a client for an overnight transport. Togo, who was left in the kennel, made another escape.
Wow.
This time jumping a fence and followed his owner and the rest of the sled dogs.
This dog loves a good little doggy jailbreak.
Yes, he certainly does. Seppala eventually caught Togo on the way back, but couldn't keep him from being rowdy. So he put a harness on Togo, and to Seppala's surprise, this puppy immediately calmed down. As the return trip wore on, Seppala was so impressed with Togo's seemingly natural ability as a sled dog that he kept moving Togo further up the line until he eventually shared the lead position. Togo ended up covering over 75 miles on the first day in a harness, which was basically unheard of, especially for a puppy.
Togo. We love Togo.
Togo had several other adventures, including saving Seppala and the rest of the dog team from nearly drowning in freezing water, but we don't have enough time right now to get into every single one of these amazing feats.
Are you sure? I'd love to hear them all.
I can tell you would, Bram, but let's skip ahead about 10 years to January of 1925 and what's known as the Great Race of Mercy.
Okay.
An epidemic of diphtheria had broken out in the western Alaskan town of Nome. The town's entire supply of diphtheria antitoxin had expired, and there was no way more could be delivered by ship because their port had frozen over. Enter Seppala, Togo, 19 other mushers, and about 150 other sled dogs in total. Working together relay style, the teams transported emergency doses of the serum from Nenana in eastern Alaska all the way to Nome on the other side of the state. They covered 674 miles in 5.5 days.
Wow.
Togo and Seppala had not only the longest stretch of the trip, but the most dangerous, including traversing open ice in temperatures of negative 30 degrees Fahrenheit. At one point, a blizzard in the dark of night prevented Seppala from seeing their path, but thanks to Togo's expert leading, they made it to the warmth of a shelter. Wow. The next day, they were able to safely reach their relay point, where the antitoxin continued on, eventually reaching the people of Nome. Now, you may be saying to yourself, this story sounds kind of familiar.
Yeah, Dano, I know this story, okay?
Yeah, that's because the final leg of the journey was completed by a musher named Gunnar Kaysen and a lead dog by the name of Balto.
Balto, that's it, baby.
Yes, sir. Balto ended up getting most of the fame after the delivery, later inspiring a 1995 animated movie for kids.
Classic.
Togo and the other dogs were also celebrated for their efforts in the years following the Great Race, but he ended up living most of the rest of his life in relative obscurity. His story has often been overshadowed by Balto's, but that has changed in recent years with historians reevaluating Togo's role in the serum delivery. In fact, he got his own movie in 2019 with Willem Dafoe starring as Leonard Sapala.
Well, I got to tell you, Dan, I think it's safe to say, regardless of who your favorite is, Togo, Balto, the rest of them pups, those are some good boys.
All 150 plus dogs were good boys, and we're going to cover even more great pups in our games on this episode, Bran. But first, we're going to need some contestants.
Luckily, we have two on the line with us right now. Contestant number one, tell us your name and where you're from.
Hi, I'm Mona. I'm from Taylor's, South Carolina.
Mona from Taylor's, South Carolina. Mona, thanks for joining us. Are you a big dog fan?
I'm a dog fan. Yes.
Okay, you said hesitant.
It was hesitant.
I think what's happened here is Mona heard the topic is dogs, and it's like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's fair.
That's more than fair.
Yes.
This is going to be all about dogs, I promise.
Yeah.
And you're going to be going up against caller number two. Caller number two, what's your name? Where are you from?
My name is Tim, and I'm from Columbia.
All right.
South Carolina?
That Columbia.
I never want to assume.
He's not live from Bogota either.
No.
It's not Colombia.
I never want to assume.
Columbia, South Carolina. So we've got Mona from Taylor's, Tim from Columbia, and are you a dog guy? You got that dog in you, Tim?
I am a huge dog guy.
Okay.
I love it.
Do you think that's going to help you in a game all about dogs or hurt you?
I hope it helps. I'm pro dog.
Pro dog. That's
dog.
good. That's a good. Okay,
Yeah.
so both our contestants are pro dog, which I think is a good thing.
Really
going
good.
into
If we had
this.
to hear just scoffs the whole episode,
Yeah.
that would be tough. Oh, another dog question.
That dumb dog.
Can't believe
No,
we
we're
couldn't
not
come
gonna
on the
get that.
cats episode,
Yeah.
which I'm not writing. Here we go. Should we get to our first round?
I think we should. Woof woof.
Our first game is one all about presidential dogs. It's one we're calling Woof What Win.
Mona and Tim, here's what Woof What Win is all about. These are all questions about the dogs of U.S. presidents. For each one, we're going to give you a series of clues, including the name of the dog as well as things related to its owner. You'll have to tell us which president we're talking about.
For example, Bran, you have a dog named Thea.
Yes.
So we'd say Theo, Who What Win host, Orlando Magic fan, friend to
Yes.
all. That's Brandon Gray.
Well, I think friend to all is the dead giveaway there. But don't worry, you're also going to get 3 possible answers for each question. It's multiple choice style, folks.
That's right, Bran. Mona, you're up first. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Dog's name, Fala. Fireside Chats. New Deal. World War II. Is that A, Richard Nixon, B, William Taft, C, Franklin Roosevelt?
Well, it's definitely not Richard Nixon. So I'm 99% sure it's Franklin Roosevelt.
She's 99% sure. Make it 100. Mona is on the board.
There
That's
you go.
correct.
That's how you do it.
Nice job,
You know
Mona.
you know much about Fala?
I believe that is the dog that FDR's mistress gave him.
It's a mistress dog?
And he would hold it because he couldn't be in public with her.
Yeah.
He would put her in the dog in all the pictures. Yeah.
Oh,
That could-
that is spicy.
That could, yeah, and I could be
My
wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure that's correct. That could have been
That's-
history or his story.
That is spicy. I like that.
Yeah, it's spicy. Brand's big mistress boy.
Yeah. Fala. Shout out Fala.
Shout out.
Shout out Fala. All right, Tim, your chance to tie this thing back up. Here we go. Dog's name, Millie. Operation Desert Storm. Father and son, VP first. Is that A, John Kennedy, B, Teddy Roosevelt, C, George H.W. Bush?
Well, John Kennedy was never vice president. Teddy Roosevelt was before he became president. But I think the answer is George Bush.
George H.W. Bush is correct.
There you go.
Tim, just so I can see if you really know your presidents, who was Teddy a vice president for?
McKinley.
Yeah, this guy.
Okay. All
this
right.
guy.
All right.
Yeah,
Here we
he's got
go.
That extra point?
Yeah, it isn't.
It's not. It's an extra point in your heart, though, Tim, and that's all that matters.
Mona just rolled her eyes, exasperated. Like this is tough. That's a pull right there. All right, Mona, tie ball game. Your question here on Woof What Win.
Good read. Good read.
Dog's name, Ham. Roaring 20s. Quiet. Chill. A, Warren Harding, B, Woodrow Wilson, C, Calvin Coolidge?
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, the dog's name is Ham, if that helps.
Well, okay. I'm sure that should help. But, well, let's go with C again, Calvin Coolidge.
She went with Calvin Coolidge. One of the clues was chill.
Cool.
She is correct.
There you go.
She's correct.
Ham's hamming it up.
Ham's hamming it up over there. That's exactly
there
right.
is something really endearing about people that name their animals after another animal.
Yeah.
I think that's
a cooked one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well-
ham is food.
All right, guys, I'll take the rest of the day off.
He didn't name
This is
he didn't name his
embarrassing.
dog Pig. That would be really weird.
Yeah, he named him Ham.
Ham.
Wow.
Yes, ham food.
Let's-
pig animal. Yeah. All right, Tim, you set yourself up for me believing you can't possibly get one of these wrong. So let's test that theory right now. Next question. The dog's name is Grits.
It's another animal.
Peanuts. Aliens. Camp David. Is that A, Richard Nixon, B, Jimmy Carter, C, Lyndon Johnson?
Well, I don't know of anything that associates Richard Nixon with peanuts, but I do know that Jimmy Carter is associated with peanuts. And while he was not a big rabbit fan, I think that was probably his dog.
He's saying Jimmy Carter, and Grits is Jimmy Carter's dog. That is
There you
correct.
go.
And the aliens one, he claimed to see aliens.
Yeah.
From another episode of Who What When.
I
if you're
love
a
that story.
Rabid listener. All right,
love
it's a
that story.
tie game once again, and I don't want to sound the perfect game horn too early, Bran. So let's just. It's getting longer now.
Sorry,
Is that
that
a
was-
dog?
that was my dog.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
your
I
dog.
apologize.
It sounded like a whale, but
We
that's
all brought our
fine.
dogs to the studio today.
We did. It's getting crazy out here. Mona, your next question here on Woof What Win is right now. The dogs' names were Jeb and Jelly Roll, Trustbuster, Great Fleet, Boxing. Is that A, Teddy Roosevelt, B, William Taft, C, Grover Cleveland?
I'm listening to your clues and not picking up on a single one. So I'm going to go with, Teddy Roosevelt.
I think Mona's just doing a bit here
Yeah,
because
she's
she
doing a
is
bit.
correct
Yeah.
again.
How about that?
Teddy Roosevelt correct. Owned
Notorious boxer.
Notorious boxer, also owned dozens of animals over his life.
Love the animals.
At least 8 dogs during his time as president.
Wow.
Probably more than that. He loved animals. That's why he did all these wildlife preserves, like
There you
national
go.
parks and stuff. All right, Tim, you're up against it. Mona's got the lead right now. Your next question here on Woof What When? Dog's name: Juno, Alien and Sedition Acts, Boston, First VP. Is that A, Thomas Jefferson, B, Alexander Hamilton, C, John Adams?
Well, it wasn't Alexander Hamilton because he was never a VP. I think it's not Jefferson because he was second vice president, so it would have to be Adams.
It would have to be John Adams, and that is correct. Great job, Tim. We still got a tie ball game here.
We sure do.
We've got 4 questions left in the round. Mona, perfect through 6. Let's see what question 7 has to offer. Dog's name is Bo. History, change, hope. Is that A, George W. Bush, B, Barack Obama, C, Donald Trump?
Oh, my goodness. You didn't name the one I thought it was.
Who'd you think it was?
So, Hope, Arkansas. I thought it was Clinton.
Oh.
Yikes. I think I might have to go with Obama.
Might have to go with Obama. And once again, Mona is correct and has
How
the lead.
about that?
That's exactly right.
Hope the campaign slogan
Yeah,
for Barack Obama.
And change we
Yep.
can believe in. That's
right.
exactly right. Mona,
Bo, dog we can believe
yes,
in.
Portuguese water dog. 'Cause
Great
of
dog.
allergens in the family.
Great dog.
Great dog. All right, Tim, your next clue here on Woof What Win. Here we go. Drunkard. The dog's name was Drunkard.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like I
there are
missed
a
the
lot
dog.
of there are a lot of presidents that were Drunkard.
Okay, sure.
Dog's name Drunkard. Farewell address. Neutrality Act. Nicknamed himself. A, George Washington. B, James Madison. C, John Quincy Adams.
Well, I don't know that John Quincy Adams and Madison had a famous farewell address, but I do know George Washington did. So I'm going to go with George Washington.
Once again, Tim using actual history to confirm that he is correct.
Man.
Tim.
Yeah, you know what's bothering me about this game so far is none of our contestants seem to be using the dogs. And I think they're missing the point. They're missing the point of the game of Woof What Win. I mean,
every clue has a dog in it, and the name of the game, I want to be very clear, Woof What Win.
Right.
So I think we covered the basis of dogs.
And I dressed like a dog. It's like I dressed up for a dog for no reason. Dan, is this true? George Washington had more than 30 dogs?
Yes. Yeah, he had a record of these things.
That is insane.
Yes.
That's a lot of dogs.
It is. It's a lot of dogs.
At one point, I had 3 dogs in my house, and that felt like a mistake.
I've had 3 dogs in my house for the last
It's a lot of dogs.
Here we go. It's tied once again. We're almost to a perfect category, Bran. Next question, Mona. Here we go. Dog's name? Big Boy. Big Boy. The Great Depression blame. Damn.
Oh, wow.
Is that Benjamin Harrison, Chester Arthur, Herbert Hoover?
Well, I hope from your clue, I hope it's Herbert Hoover.
Herbert Hoover is correct.
The clue of Big Boy, yes.
Yeah, you used Big Boy and you were like, got it.
Got it.
That's right.
Herbert Hoover, notorious Big Boy.
Mona, who was scared about the category and a bit about dogs as an overall category, she just went 5 for 5.
5 for 5.
All right, Tim, let's get this right and let's go. Let's move. Here we go. You ready, Tim?
I'm ready.
Dogs' names Charlie and Wolf. Cuban Missiles, New Frontier, Space Race. Is that A, John Kennedy, B, Dwight Eisenhower, C, Gerald Ford?
Well, neither Gerald Ford nor Eisenhower were advocating a new frontier. That would have to be Kennedy.
It would have to be Kennedy. We were all thinking it, Tim. Just glad you were able to say what we were thinking. That is correct.
There you go.
Buddy, what a first segment.
This is a good one.
We had ourselves a barn burner
You know what?
here. It's a perfect category.
I was beginning to doubt whether or not I made the right choice with this costume, but I can't imagine enjoying this perfect game not in this costume. It feels right.
Would it help for you to know that the next game is going to have a lot of real dog shout-outs and stuff you would watch on TV?
I can't wait. Shout out dogs.
Shout out dogs.
Shout out.
That's the title of the whole episode.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we're shouting them out. All right. Mona's got 5. Tim's got 5. It's a perfect game through 1. We're going to head into game 2 right after this.
This is Who What When. I'm Brandon Gray here with my co-host and best friend in the entire world, Daniel Thompson. This week we're paying tribute to all them good boys and good girls out there with an hour all about notable dogs.
That's right, Brandon. We're playing with our contestants, Tim and Mona, both from South Carolina.
Yeah.
It's close coming out of the first segment, but that could change in our next round about famous dogs from pop culture.
That's coming up right after this break here on Who What When.
Welcome back to Who What When, an hour of history, games, and trivia. I'm Daniel Thompson, here with my good buddy Brandon Gray, and we're discussing famous dogs from history and pop culture all week long.
We're having a blast, Dano. And before we get back to those games, we want to remind you that you can be a contestant on a future episode of Who What When. All you have to do is call or text us, 803-470-6347, or you can send us an email to whowhatwhen@scpublicradio.org.
And we have 2 such contestants with us right now, Brand. They're both from South Carolina. Their names, Mona and Tim, and they're playing with us today, talking all about dogs. Whoever wins this second round will be named our Who What When Champion of the Week, and we'll move on to our final game for a chance at our weekly prize, that sweet, sweet Who What When fanny pack. Let's see how they do with our next game. It's one we're calling They Got That Dog in Them.
Okay, all right. To Mona, this is a game all about famous dogs from movies and TV. These are all multiple choice questions. Just tell us which dog, movie, or TV show we're talking about, and you've got yourself a point.
Mona, you're up first on They Got That Dog in Them. This big St. Bernard's off-screen name is actually just Chris, not the name that shares the title of this franchise, whose original movie starred Charles Grodin and a heel turn by Stanley Tucci. Is it A, Benji, B, Beethoven, C, Daisy?
Oh, I want to go back to presidents.
Oh, my. Oh, no.
I think just trying to remember back to years ago. I'm going to go with Beethoven.
She's going to go with Beethoven, and once again, she's right.
How about that?
How about that?
I love Beethoven.
One of my first trips ever to the theater. We got Oliver Platt, Stanley Tucci, Charles Grodin, Big Dog.
Is it Beethoven 1 or 2 where they have Beethoven connected to a porch deck that he then pulls? That's one. He pulls and then probably kills a bunch of teenagers.
Oh, no, that's Beethoven's second.
Beethoven's second. Got it.
Beethoven's second.
Yes.
And
the whole collapses.
That is Beethoven's second.
That's Chris.
That's Chris for you. Chris out there, yeah. All right, we're over to Tim. Not as much history here. Let's see how his pop culture training is. Your question here, and they got that dog in him. His real name is Buddy, but he stole the show as the Tanner family pet Comet from this 1990s iconic family sitcom. A, Family Matters. B, Full House. C, Boy Meets World.
I think I'd rather go to Presidents, too.
Thought you might.
Probably not in my wheelhouse, so I'm going to guess B.
He's going to say B, Full House, and he is correct.
Wow, how about that?
You know, you can feel that magic in the air right now, Brian. You can feel
it's
that
like
magic
they can't miss.
in the air. It is like
no one's confident, and yet everybody's winning.
They're at the craps table throwing the dice behind their shoulder. It is like, it's real. It's happening.
It doesn't happen often,
but when it does. Often, maybe once ever in the history of this show.
Woof, woof.
They are rolling right now. Mona, your next question here on They Got That Dog in Him. This dog's screen name is also in the movie's title, a tearjerker with Owen Wilson and Jennifer Aniston, and her screen name is also her real name as well. Is that A, Old Yeller, B, Balto, C, Marley and Me?
Oh my goodness. It's not Balto. I think I've got to go with Marley and Me.
She's got to go with Marley and Me, and once again, Mona from Taylor, South Carolina, is so shocked to learn she's right again.
This is a wonder to behold today, guys.
It really is.
This is great.
All right, Tim, back to you. A total perfect game right now. Let's see if you can get this next one right about TV and movie dogs. There's nothing in the rule book that says you can't have this dog from the infamous Disney franchise have the same name on screen and off, and also show up in a cameo on Full House playing Air Jesse. Is that A, Homeward Bound, B, Air Bud, C, White Fang?
Again, I'm just guessing. I'm going to say Air Bud.
He's using context clues, and he's got it. It's Air Bud. Yeah. There's nothing in the rule book that
There's
says.
nothing in the rule book that says that dogs can't play basketball. There's nothing in the rule book that says you can't continue to guess and get everything right.
That's exactly right. It doesn't matter how much you know. It just matters how good you can guess sometimes
exactly
who
right.
won't win. It's still a tie game. We've got 6 questions. We overcorrected on the perfect game.
That was too short.
It was like 10 octaves lower.
Yeah.
It was a lot going on.
We'll fix it in post.
Yeah. All right, Mona, your next question here on They Got That Dog in Them. This buddy cop comedy featuring Tom Hanks and his dog named after a nickname for booze featured Beasley the French Mastiff drooling all over Hanks, all while stealing the show. Is that A, Turner and Hooch, B, Gibson and Booze, or C, Tanner and Liquid Courage?
I love these answers, but this one I've actually seen. So it's A, Turner and Hooch.
She's seen it. She knows. She's confident. Incorrect. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
That's correct as well, Mona.
As confident as anyone's been today.
Man.
That's wrong.
Yeah. Sorry.
Liquid Courage.
Sorry. Yeah, I do want to watch a Gibson and Booze show. I think that's a great
that'd be really good.
show. All right, Tim, 3 left here. Let's see if you can get them all right and finish that perfect game. Squirrel, this animated creature should really be a real dog because that's how much we love Doug, the Bob Peterson voiced pup from the Pixar classic. A, Toy Story. B, Monsters, Inc. C, Up.
Okay, so I don't recall any dogs in Monsters, Inc., and there weren't any that I can recall from Toy Story, so I'm going to go with Up.
All right, well, full Buster Erasure from Toy Story, a classic dog in Toy Story. I need to get that out right now. But you're also correct. It is Doug from Up, all-time classic.
Love Doug.
Excellent job. Guys, this is crazy. We've done 16 questions. We've gotten 16 questions right.
This is incredible.
We got 4 more. Mona's got 2, Tim's got 2. Tie ball game. It's real deal time right now. Here we go. Mona, your next question. Quick, someone's stuck in the well. And this fictional female dog was actually played by Pal, a male rough collie. Is that A, Rin Tin Tin, B, Toto, C, Lassie?
I love this category now. This is fun. I know it's not Toto. That's Wizard of Oz. I don't know anything about Rin Tin Tin, so I'm sure it's got to be Lassie.
It is Lassie. That is correct. 9 in a row correct.
This is phenomenal.
We're talking all about dogs this
Yes,
week.
we are.
We're playing They Got That Dog in Them.
Right.
These are TV shows and movies that all heavily feature dogs. Mona's a perfect game. Tim's got a perfect game. 3 questions left. Tim, here's your next question. This Technicolor classic is seeing a resurgence thanks to last year's Cynthia Erivo Ariana Grande smash hit at the box office. But it's the Cairn Terrier Toto that steals the show in the original, played by a pup named Terry. Is that A, Gone with the Wind, B, The Wizard of Oz, C, Casablanca?
Okay, this was kind of a T-ball here.
Yeah.
This one is Wizard of Oz.
It is Wizard of Oz. I wrote the question because I found out last week my dear friend Brandon Gray has never seen Casablanca.
Well, I don't know what that has to do with anything.
That's why I wrote the whole
Well, this
question.
doesn't have anything to do with that, though. It's the Wizard of Oz.
You know the famous dog in Casablanca. Yeah.
Jennifer.
Yeah, that's it. All right.
I have seen Wizard of Oz, though. Great flick.
Yeah, good for you, buddy. All right. 9 and 9 correct answers. We're 2 away from a perfect game before the finals. This is big. Mona, your last question on They Got That Dog in Them. The real name of this notorious German Shepherd was Flame Jr., which would be the coolest dog name ever if it weren't for the fact that the television show's dog is based on a real German Shepherd that was a hero of World War I. Is that A, The Adventures of Tintin, B, Mr. Ed, C, McGee and Me?
I have no earthly idea. This is so nerve-wracking. I'm totally guessing, McGee and Me?
Mona, on your last question.
No.
I'm so sorry. You were incorrect. McGee and Me was a contemporary Christian childhood television show that you would get on VHS tape featuring a boy named Nick and his cartoon friend McGee.
Yeah. Mr. Ed's a
and
horse.
Mr. Ed is a show about a horse.
It's a horse.
Yeah,
Yes.
of course. We were looking for the Adventures of Tintin.
Hey,
Wow.
hey,
Listen,
hey.
it's not
the
over
game's
yet.
not over.
Crazier things have happened.
That's right. Tim has to get this next one right.
That's right.
In order for him and
advance.
him alone to move on to the final round. If he misses it,
It's a tie
we've got a
game.
double final round, which is big. It
It's
doesn't
big.
happen
Doesn't
often,
happen
but
often.
it's possible.
All right, it's 9 to 9. Tim's last question of the round. We're playing a little They Got That Dog in Them. Talking about dogs in movies. This is serious stuff. Tim, here we go. This dog maybe caused more pure casualties than any in film history, as when Daisy, real name Andy the Beagle, is killed in this action classic.
No!
It sets Keanu Reeves on a revenge tour and unadulterated killing spree. Is that A, Die Hard, B, John Wick, C, Nobody?
No dogs in Die Hard that I remember. I don't think I saw the last one, but I did see John Wick, and I know it was the Beagle and John Wick.
Tim is correct. He's completed 2 perfect rounds.
Wow.
Mona from Taylor, South Carolina comes up the last question short of a tie. Tim, you're the champion of the week. Congrats. We'll talk to you in a couple of minutes. Mona, a valiant effort.
I mean, as good as you can play without going to the final
9
round.
in a row. We appreciate you being here. You crushed it. 1 question. You just came up 1 question short.
It was a lot of fun, guys. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Mona.
This is Who It Win. I'm Brandon Gray here with my friend Daniel Thompson, and this week's episode, it's Gone to the Dogs with games all about our canine friends.
Our contestant, Tim from South Carolina, has just secured the title of Who What Win Champion of the Week. Congrats, Tim. He's now heading to our final round for a shot at our weekly prize, that Who What Win fanny pack.
Will he make it? That and more after this break here on Who What Win.
Welcome back to Who, What, When, an hour of history, games, and trivia from South Carolina Public Radio. I'm Daniel Thompson. That's my good buddy Brandon Gray. We're talking all about famous dogs from history and pop culture this week.
That's right, and we'll get back to our games in just a few minutes. But first, we're joined by our producer and our favorite boy, A.T. Shire. A.T., how you doing, buddy?
Hey, guys, I'm doing great, and all this dog talk has me thinking about famous phrases that have to do with our canine friends.
Okay.
So I've come up with a little quiz, because you know I live the quiz.
love live the quiz.
Yeah.
And I'm calling it Dog and Pony Show What When.
Okay.
Wow.
All right, if you say so.
For each of these questions, I've combined an idiom or phrase related to dogs with something from pop culture. For example, take this movie that I somehow always reference, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, about implanted memories and whether there is or isn't air on Mars, and add this dog saying that means full of big talk but lacking action, power, or substance. The answer? Total Recall, bark, no bite.
There it is.
You got it?
I got it.
All right, let's
Fantastic.
begin, folks.
Here we go. First up, take this semi-autobiographical 2017 movie starring Kumail Nanjiani, in which he meets his future wife, who was that very called? quickly gets very serious cancer, and add this idiom meaning very ill, especially from a stomach malady. Wow.
No, I
well,
forgot. There was
great movie.
Ray Romano's in that movie.
Great
Correct.
movie.
It's a really,
But I also don't know what the second part is.
I think you do.
If I knew the first part, I would definitely know the second part.
Okay, let's do a dog idiom about being ill.
Sick as a dog.
Sick as a dog.
Okay.
Oh, love sick as a dog?
No, love
Close.
sick.
I'm going to ding you on this one. It's the big sick as a
big
dog.
Sick as a dog.
Dadgummit.
That's okay.
Saw the
It's
movie in
okay.
the theater.
We're
Yeah,
just
I did
started.
too. I just forgot.
Really liked it. Cried.
Shout out Kumail. I love Kumail.
Good guy, I think. I don't.
Okay, next up. 4. Take this idiom often used in golf, meaning a sharp angle or bend, and add this character from Lord of the Rings and most extreme sports member of the Fellowship of the Ring, who just so happens to be a Sindar elf of the Woodland Realm. Oh, and don't forget that his dad is King Thranduil. And no, I didn't have to look any of this up because I am a loser.
A dog leg.
Correct.
Is that part?
What is that?
And
Legolas?
Legolas. Yeah, so dog Legolas.
That is correct.
Yes.
Dog Legolas is correct.
Orlando Bloom shout out.
I'm including this just for the podcast listeners to know how much of a freak I am. I originally had Dog Legends of the Guardian Owls of Ga'Hoole.
Oh man, I would have loved that.
But anyway, next up, we love vermin here on Who, What, When.
Yeah, we do.
Take
Notorious.
this 1990 animated Disney film about top investigator mice, Bernard and Miss Bianca,
Oh, heck yeah.
going to Australia to save a human boy from an evil poacher who wants the boy to catch an eagle for him, and add this term for a loser or predicted loser in a struggle or contest.
This is the Rescuers Down Under dog.
That is correct.
Yeah, it is.
Wow. Yeah, that is correct. And just an FYI here, this term was famously used as motivation for the 2017-18 Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles, who
go
were
Birds.
underdogs in many of their playoff games. So that's a hard go, Birds.
A hefty go Birds.
Well,
for all of you
at
out
the
there.
very
Yes,
least.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for allowing me that,
No
fellas.
problem.
Sure.
Okay, next up, take a look. It's in a lot of books. This idiom often used by Shakespeare that comes from the practice of hunting dogs, meaning someone's efforts are misdirected. And add this PBS show teaching kids to love books, most famously hosted by LeVar Burton.
So,
So it's Reading Rainbow.
The first part
The first
of
part
that
has to
is-
probably end with rain. Right?
in with Reed. Right? Because it's the beginning
Oh, yeah,
of the
Reed,
next
Reed,
one's
Reed.
Reading
Yeah,
Rainbow.
yeah.
So famously, it has to start with
So,
read.
AT, if you don't mind shoving all the way off, bud, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So Reading Rainbow, misdirected dogs.
A misreading?
Misreading
Misreading
Rainbow?
Rainbow?
That's
I
real
wish
bad.
misreading was all about dogs.
Yeah.
I'll ding you on this one, guys.
Yeah.
It's barking up the wrong treating rainbow.
Barking up the wrong treating rainbow.
Yeah, guys. And these are the easy ones.
Oh no.
Yeah, they get worse.
Let's get back to the movies.
Just in time. It's not a phase, Mom. Take this saying for the transitory love or affection felt by a child or adolescent, and add this 2003 Christmas rom-com with an ensemble cast that follows 9 interconnected stories and has spawned numerous memes.
Yeah, Love Actually.
Right.
And
Lovesick dog.
Puppy Love Actually.
Puppy Love Actually.
Puppy Love Actually is correct, guys. Good job.
Also known as Lovesick Dog.
Brian, you say lovesick dog all the time.
I do.
It's just a case of lovesick dog.
Exactly right. That's all it
Oh,
is.
that's so sweet. He's got lovesick dog.
He's got lovesick dog.
He's got a case of the Lovesick Dog.
Okay, next up, take this wonderfully groovy 1996 movie about Tom Hanks helping a young band hit it big in 1964 and add this idiom, meaning a situation of ruthless competition where people are willing to harm others to succeed.
I got this.
Hit it. No.
That thing you dog eat dog.
That thing you dog eat dog. Yes, that's
Wow.
right. That's a wreck. Fun fact, this term is derived from Latin canis caninam non est, which means a dog does not eat the flesh of a dog.
Yeah, Canis.
Yeah, I
Canis
got it.
coming in. Yeah,
no
you got
problem.
Big
Yeah.
Latin guy.
Yeah, big
You
Latin,
know,
Latin boy.
Well,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Well, and that's why puppy love, actually, it's
Lovesick
derived
dog.
from, in
Heartsick
the
dog.
straight translation, purist, if you will.
Heartsick dog.
A dog sick love. What is
Dog
it?
sick love, I
What did
believe.
say?
Yeah.
It's okay. Well, I'll put it in
Put
post.
it in post. Fix it
I'll
in post.
dupe it. I'll dupe it.
Dupe it.
Okay, next up, give me some grace on this one. Maybe it isn't as heady or idiomatic as some of the others, but take this phrase for the container for taking food home from a restaurant.
Tupperware.
Yeah.
And add the name of the final challenge / mountain from the early to mid 90s Nickelodeon show Guts. If you triumphed over this final stage, you got to take home a piece of this mountain you just summited.
So it's the aggro crack.
Yeah,
Okay.
so this is the doggy bagro crack.
The doggy
Doggy
bagro
bag.
crack. That is correct.
Yeah, I went Tupperware.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with dog.
None of it's.
No,
none
I
of
thought
that
maybe
was
the
dogs,
second
really.
part maybe did.
Tupperware aggro crack.
Tupperware agro
I thought maybe the second clue was going to be dog related, and that's on me.
Pupperware.
Tupper, where's that dog at? You know?
Next up, choo choo woof woof. Take this phrase referring to the hottest and most humid period of the year, historically following the heliacal rising of the star system Sirius, and add this often adapted Agatha Christie work from 1934, featuring her famous detective, Hercule Poirot, about someone being unalived on a special train.
So that is, what's that? The Murder on the Orient Express?
That's right.
And then the
Dog Days of Some Murder on the Orient Express.
Good
That's
job,
exactly right.
fellas. Good job. You got it. That's right.
buddy.
Okay, next up. This one is kind of dark on both sides of the before and after, and I learned it only after doing the research.
Okay, cool.
Now, I'm not sure anyone has ever actually watched this movie, or if it was just on Comedy Central for the entirety of our childhood. But take this 1987 Billy Crystal, Danny DeVito movie about problematically getting rid of each other's domineering ex-wife and mother, respectively, the latter by way of locomotive. And add this idiom used to describe a particularly heavy downpour.
Okay.
It's raining like cats and dogs.
Don't throw mama from the training like cats and dogs.
That is correct.
Wow.
It is throw mama from the training like cats and dogs. And here is the dark fact here. One possible explanation for raining like cats and dogs involves the drainage systems on buildings in 17th century Europe, where people would just throw dead animals out of their windows. And when it rained really hard, they would all get loosened from the gutters and fall down. So it was literally raining cats and dogs.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, this occurrence is described in Jonathan Swift's 1710 poem "Description of a City Shower." Don't mix up those city shower. Don't say that backwards.
Out of curiosity, is there any other explanation we can go with for raining cats and
I
dogs?
did see one where there's like a Roman word that sort of sounds like the word cat.
Yeah,
let's go with
Let's
that
go with that
one. You're a big
one.
Latin
That
bro.
means
Yeah.
rain.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Love it.
Okay, next up. Speaking of movies absolutely no one watched. Take this 2002 movie that completely flopped, starring Antonio Banderas and Lucy Liu as opposing secret agents who team up to fight a common enemy. And add this idiom that appears in Hamlet, meaning even the biggest loser will eventually experience a period of success or good luck in their life.
This is Ballistic X versus Every Dog Has Its Day.
That is correct.
Wow.
I'm so
You're
happy
so
you got
good
that.
at this, Dan.
I own that movie.
It is so bad.
Shout out to my dearest friend in the world, you
That's
not
fine.
including Ben Christmas, who every year for Christmas,
Ben Christmas.
his last name is Christmas, and every year for Christmas he gets me a DVD, Blu-ray, or 4K of a terrible movie.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Ballistic X versus Sever every year.
No, that would be fun too. But he bought me Ballistic X for Severed. It's in my garage right now.
That's a garage movie for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, next up. Take this saying, meaning a person who, through cunning, devious, or dishonest means, achieves a fortuitous outcome, and add this 1999 movie starring Laura Dern and a young Jake Gyllenhaal, who becomes interested in rocket science after seeing Sputnik. But Gyllenhaal's Homer is expected to work as a coal miner like everyone else in his West Virginia town.
That's Homer Hickam with Chris Cooper and Laura Dern. That's October Sky.
October Sky is the movie.
And the devious means to find like Lucky Dogtober Sky. Like
Close. That's honestly close. And I'll give you a half ding, half wrong. Okay?
It's a half ding.
It is Sly Dogtober Sky.
a Sly Dogtober Sky.
There you go.
October Sky, underrated joint. You need to check that out.
Very good. It's
really good movie.
That's a force you to watch it at school movie.
Yeah,
you
but
know,
it's really
end of
good.
the year, good movie.
I saw it in the theater. I was like, this Jake Gyllenhaal's going places, and I was right.
Wow.
Yeah, more than just
Yeah.
space.
Yeah.
Okay, next up, Now's You Can't Leave is a line from this 1993 NYC Borough set coming-of-age crime drama directed by and starring Robert De Niro as well as Chaz Palminteri.
Yeah.
And add this idiom, meaning a situation in which an important or powerful decision, organization, etc., is being controlled by someone or something that is much less important or powerful. And also the phrase gained some notoriety from a different Robert De Niro movie from 1997 that's a dark political satire.
Which also starred Dustin Hoffman. We're looking
Correct.
for Bronx Tail Wagging the Dog.
That is correct, Dan. Dan is dialed.
I got nothing for you
He's
here. I
dialed.
got nothing for you here.
Oh, man.
Okay,
This
last
is the one thing I'm good at, guys. We found it.
Here's the last one. Get ready to sleep on the couch when you take this idiom, meaning to be in a state of disgrace or disfavor
Got it.
because someone, typically a spouse or superior, is angry at you for something you did. And add this 1990 movie that spawned many sequels about two friends, kid and play, notoriously throwing total ragers.
Yeah, they're in the Dog House Party.
Oh.
That is
Dog
correct.
House Party.
Nice.
Yeah.
Dan, you did great. Bran, you were there.
I was there. That's
Thank
what I
you
messed
for
up.
having me, guys. Let's go see if we can give away a fanny pack, a dog fanny pack. I don't know how it works, you know?
Let's do it.
It's going to be good.
You're listening to Who, What, When. I'm Daniel Thompson here with my best bud, Brandon Gray. Our topic this week, notable dogs throughout history and pop culture.
And before we get to our final round, I do want to take a moment and just quick reminder, you can join us on a future episode of Who Will Win. All you got to do is call or text us, 803-470-6347, or send us an email, whowhatwin@scpublicradio.org.
This week's contestant, Tim from South Carolina, has won the title of Who, What, When Champion of the Week.
Yep.
And now it's getting serious.
Here we
he has
go.
a chance to win something even greater, our weekly trophy, the Who, What, When Fanny Pack. All he needs to do is make it through our last game today. It's one we play a lot around here. It's History or His Story, Dog Edition.
Tim, here's how History or His Story works. Former history teacher Dan has 3 stories about famous canines from history. 2 of the stories are historical fact. The other one, completely made up by Dan, my favorite liar, aka it's his story. After each story, you're going to have an opportunity to ask questions. We can talk about it. You and I, we're playing this together, buddy. I want you to win. We're going to try to determine which story is real, which ones are not. After you hear all 3 stories, you'll have to tell us which one is Dan's lie.
And Tim, I'm going to tell you these stories in chronological order. Sound good?
Okay.
All right, here we go. Story number 1 is entitled Smokey Joe Flies Cross Country First Class. In 1775, one of the first acts of our brand new and temporary government was to establish a postal service naming Benjamin Franklin as the first ever Postmaster General. In the 250 years since then, the Postal Service has seen so many technological advancements in transportation. One could argue that the biggest one was the Postal Service began flying mail across the country in 1918. Because planes were still relatively new, they hadn't even been used in war by the United States, only specific pilots even volunteered for the task of flying at all, much less across the country. Enter Curtis Duke Mallory, a former lieutenant in the Air Force. Mallory volunteers for the longest airmail route of the early 1920s, the cross-country route of New York City to San Francisco, with 7 stops in between. This was considered the most dangerous route for the number of stops and the inclement weather that they may not be able to pick up with their flight instruments at the time. Mallory believed he could regularly fly this route without problem because of what he considered his lucky pup, the wire-haired terrier, Smokey Joe.
Smokey Joe.
Shout out Smokey Joe.
Shout out.
He believed Smokey Joe's reactions while in the air helped him read the air and avoid turbulence and land safely.
Smart.
Most of this was clearly superstition of Mallory, but he, by the end of his runs flying mail, had a story so great that he believed it all to be real. On his flight from New York City to San Fran in 1923, Smokey Joe began barking and whining uncontrollably, which was uncommon for Smokey Joe to do. Mallory and Joe were flying over the Rocky Mountains with no place to land. Mallory decided almost instantly to change course, moving north, conducting an emergency landing in Boise, Idaho. When Mallory refueled, he was informed there was a massive storm over the Rockies just south of Boise, a storm that would have almost assuredly caused trouble for Mallory and Smokey Joe. It saved their lives, and they finished out their trip. Legend grew of old Smokey Joe in the Postal Service, and while the Postal Service never acknowledged him to the public at large, the New York City Postal Service headquarters featured a photo of Mallory and Joe with the caption underneath reading, "Mail gets through thanks to courage, altitude, and one nervous little dog."
Yeah.
That's the end of story 1. Shout out Smokey Joe.
I love it. I love this. Well, one thing, even if you're not a dog person, I think we are all aware that dogs, there's like dogs have a hunch.
Yes.
When there's weather coming, they start acting a little different. So I can see this being true. I can also see you, Dan, using that common knowledge of dog and using it into a story that you made up. I could see it going either way. So
think
I'm
I'm
currently
double-crossing
unsure.
it. Yeah.
Tim,
Yeah.
thoughts on this story, and do you have any questions that you'd like Dan to answer before moving on?
Well, it's a great story for one thing.
Thank you.
What kind of dog was it again?
A wired terrier. Any other questions?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, we ready for story number 2?
Yes.
All right, great. We're talking dogs here on Who, What, When. I'm telling 3 stories about them. One of them's not true. Tim's got to figure it out. The next story in chronological order. JFK and Khrushchev both love puppies. Let's talk about the Cold War, Bran. You love
Please,
the
it
Cold
hasn't
War.
been but 10 minutes.
This is communism versus capitalism or democracy. And one of the most memorable events during the Cold War is the Cuban Missile Crisis. This is a stare down between John Fitzgerald Kennedy and Nikita Khrushchev of the Soviet Union. This is in the midst of the race to space. Both the Soviet Union and the United States had experienced a time of nuclear proliferation after World War II. Part of the technology in creating ballistic missiles lent itself to creating the tech needed to launch an object into space. In 1955, the U.S. announced plans to launch a satellite into outer space. The Soviets responded 4 days later, saying their satellite would be launched soon. Both countries believed that satellites and eventually humans in space was a power move that also provided a tactical advantage over their rival during the Civil War. The Soviet wins the early rounds of the space race. First satellite in space, Sputnik. First man in space, Yuri Gagarin. First woman in space, Valentina Tereshkova. The U.S. would end up winning the long-term space race by having the first human to go around Earth and then sending the first successful moon landing in 1969. The Russians experimented with dogs to see if human space travel was possible. They sent over 50 dogs to outer space, most of which survived. The ones that didn't were due to a technical failure. Let me introduce you to Belka and Strelka in 1960.
Belka, Strelka.
It's a Belka-Strelka sitch.
Got it.
The first beings to go into orbit in space. They survived the journey, and Strelka had puppies after her journey. And while at dinner, Jackie Kennedy asked about them to Khrushchev.
Okay.
A month later, a puppy arrived at the White House, and it was one of Strelka's puppies. It was named Pushinka, which means fluffy in Russian. The Kennedys took a liking to the dog, and so did their dog, Charlie. Charlie and Pushinka had 4 puppies.
Whoa! Serious liking.
Yeah. Which JFK subsequently called their pupniks. Like Sputnik.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
Tens of thousands of people wrote the White House asking for one of the puppies. 2 were given away. 2 were adopted by family friends. And that's how the Cold War ended. I'm just kidding about that last point. And that's the end. That's the end of story number 2. Bran, what do you think?
Well, I like this story. I feel like I've heard enough about this story over the years that I feel confident that it's real, but I could be combining a few different things and it's all mixed up in my mind. But I currently feel pretty good about this being a true story. What say you, Tim? You feeling good about this one?
It sounds great. I love this story.
Yeah.
I hope that that's what happened.
Yeah.
But Personally, I've never heard the story before.
Well, that makes me feel like I probably haven't either, because there's no way I know something Tim doesn't. I can tell you that right now.
Bran hears that JFK called him pupniks, and he's like, I'm all in.
Yeah.
It's true.
Oh, that's true.
All right, one more story to go, Tim. Are we ready?
I am.
Here we go. This story is called Brittany, National Hero. We're almost 25 years removed from one of the most tragic moments in U.S. history, which was the attack on the World Trade Center on September 11th, 2001.
Never forget.
Never forget. The immediate response of most Americans in this massive crisis was amazing. Many still point to the beauty within that tragic day was how everyone pitched in to help in any way they could. Included in that long list would be the roughly 300 service dogs that helped for 10 straight days following the attack.
This is good.
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah.
I'm already inspired.
Brand's all in. That's right. These dogs all worked 16-hour days with their handlers, basically sun up to sundown, going into the rubble, alerting responders of folks that were trapped, and in some cases, helping remove them. Among those canine heroes, the one that lived the longest of all 300 service dogs is the story of Brittany, spelled Bretagene. And this determined golden retriever, who had turned 2 a few days before the attacks, along with her handler, Denise Corliss, was an integral part of the canine search and rescue after 9/11.
Yeah.
She performed so admirably that FEMA requested her and her handler's services many times in the future. And what a career Brittany had. She was an active participant, rescuing countless individuals during Hurricanes Rita, Katrina, and Ivan, among countless others. She was the last remaining 9/11 rescue dog, and she crossed the Rainbow Bridge just 2 months before her 17th birthday. And upon her death, she was walked down a street in Texas with rescue workers lining both sides of the street as she was carried out.
Come on.
A statue in honor of Brittany still stands to this day in Cypress, Texas. And that is the end of story number 3. Bran?
I don't want to talk about it. It's a good story. I love it. Woo! That's good stuff right there. Tim,
What do you think?
I've got a tear in my eye.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Nothing makes me feel more patriotic than a dog just saving people. Like, this is incredible.
Just out of the goodness of their heart, too. Not because
I'm just going to say that all 3 of them are true.
That's right. That's the way to play the
right.
game. I
All
refuse to
3.
live in a world where one of these isn't real.
That's fantastic. Yeah. All right. Here's a recap for you, Tim. Smokey Joe flies cross-country first class. This dog alerts his owner, Duke Mallory, about a possible storm by barking and whining. And then they talk about him in the New York City Postal Service, and they put a plaque on the wall. That's story 1. Story number 2, JFK and Khrushchev both love puppies. Khrushchev sends JFK one of the puppies of the dog that went to space. Then that dog has puppies with his other dog. He calls them pupniks and then gives them away. And story number 3, Brittany, the golden retriever national hero that helps out as barely an adult dog at 9/11 and then has the biggest, longest career and becomes a hero in Texas and all over the country by the time of her death, just shy of 17 years old. So those are our 3 stories. Bran, you want to give me a final answer?
Well, I'll say this: Brittany's real. Whether Brittany existed or not, I don't know. But
she's
Brittany's
real in your heart.
She's real to me. I have a golden retriever at home. I love a golden retriever. This is just what a great story. It's real. So I'm stuck between 1 and 2. There's something about it that just... it's ringing bells in my noggin. And so I think what happened here, Dan, is I think the first story, you had two great stories, and then you said, I'm going to make up a story using things we know about dogs, which that they can sense on incoming weather.
Yeah.
And I'm going to use that in a story to kind of fill out things. So that's what I think you did. I think you made up story number one. As much as I love Smokey Joe and believe that it could happen, I don't think that it did. I'm saying that's your story. Tim, where are you at? Are you thinking what I'm thinking, or are you picking up something
I'm thinking
else?
what you're thinking.
Yeah, you
I
are.
just have a hard time seeing a dog flying around in an open cockpit biplane.
That also doesn't seem good. Yeah, I didn't even think about the safety concerns there.
Because that's some harsh weather you're flying around in. Two sounds implausible, but then I know a little bit about dogs, and golden retrievers living to be 17. That's a long time for a golden retriever.
That's true.
Live.
That is a long time. That's a good dog right there.
I'm kind of landing on number two.
Landing on two, that's JFK getting one of Khrushchev's dogs from space, and then one of their puppies. Yeah, okay.
You think that's his story?
That's my lie.
I guess so, yeah.
All right.
But it's just a guess.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. This is a good one for Tim because we got a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
All right, let's get this out of the way first. If I had made up a story about a 9/11 dog, I don't think I could have walked out here alive, okay? I want to be very clear. I put this in because this story is amazing, and I just wanted to share it.
Everyone needs to know about Brittany.
That's right. You just need a little light in your life, and that story is phenomenal. Just ultimate shout out to Brittany the Golden
Ultimate
Retriever.
shout out.
Shout out.
That's right. Ultimate shout out. That's
We
new
don't
here.
use a lot of ultimate
We
shout
don't.
outs.
No, that's big time. That's big time.
Sacred.
Yeah, and when I heard she lived to be 17, I was like, this is crazy. Yeah. So that's not my story. JFK and Khrushchev. So known kind of enemies, frenemies, whatever. Khrushchev getting a dog that was in space, that dog's puppy sending to JFK, and then them having pupniks. A true story.
Oh, wow.
A 100% true story. I couldn't believe it. And that means old Smokey Joe isn't true at all.
Damn. I mean, what an episode. I would have put money on Tim getting it right over me, and I'm me. So, wow, Tim.
Tim, it feels almost wrong that you got every question right and missed this one question. What a competitor, though, Tim. Maybe in the second chance tournaments of champions is something we've talked about a long time. Maybe that would be a chance to come back because you're one of the better contestants we've ever had.
You did a great job. Tim, before we leave, do you want to shout out any dogs in your life?
I've got two. I've got Bosie and Lala.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Shout out Bosie and Lala. You made them proud today, Tim. You did a great job. Thanks so much for joining us on Who, What, When.
I'm sorry I didn't bring it into home plate, but...
Yeah, I mean, they're going to give you a hard time about it, but it's okay.
It's okay. It's totally okay.
And that'll do it for this episode for the dogs. Thanks again to our callers, Tim and Mona, for playing with us today. And congratulations again to Tim for being this week's Good Boy of the Week and the Who, What, When champion.
Our producer is A.T. Shire. Our executive producer is Sean Birch, who calls himself the Big Dog. This show's a production of South Carolina Public Radio and is made possible in part by listener contributions to the ETV Endowment of South Carolina.
Please join us for a future episode of Who, What, When. Just call or text us at 803-470-6347 or send us an email to whowhatwhen@stpublicradio.org.
You can find out more about the show at our website, whowhatwhenshow.org.
And you can listen to extended supersized versions of the show on your favorite podcasting app or through your smart speaker.
I'm Daniel Thompson.
I'm Brandon Gray. Join us again next week for more history, games, and trivia right here on Who, What, When.